Hello everyone and welcome back to We Have No Idea What This League even is. We are still racing Formula 3 open wheel vehicles and we have our week 2 in Circuit Ball Ricard, Le Castellet, right near the airport, and that looks like a damn airport just because it's two straight that are conjoined by some blue and red stripes. Sounds like America to me, that's weird. Either way, my name is Ilya, I'm joined as usual by Matt.
Hi guys, what's up? Unfortunately for you, I'm still here, and we're joined by our special guest, Spooky Squid.
Hi, I have a 51% discount on Viagra.
Quick question, Squid, where does the butt start?
No. No. Just no.
Alright, today we're gonna have a 40-minute, actually plus 1 lap race. If you believe it, we fixed our technical issues. Found new ones, but that's a whole other story. But this time we picked
race.
But this time we picked the wrong layout. So the fastest lap is not gonna mean anything because we're not racing there. This time we have
pretty much we're racing at the classic configuration where it's two long straights and nothing in between that's worth mentioning.
Yeah, and too bad these cars have not enough horsepower to complete these two straights within an hour. We're gonna have more cars this time around. I believe we have 23 starters, and we're gonna take it to the grid, where Sharky, surprise surprise, is in the first position, and alongside him is Maestro Ponchik.
Assuming the third position is Goonsis, followed by Jeke in 4th.
Then we have Mr. Bob and Smart Pipe in 5th and 6th.
Champel and Savadis, who is struggling to find a team, 7th and 8th.
Piker, followed by the Rainbow Girl herself, Holy Moose in 10th.
No, that was okay, whatever. Row 6 is Georgian and Matt.
I did not make that introduction sound, trust me. Call PC200 and Agent Mulder take up the 7th row.
Next thing you know, you're gonna hear, for a transition to Midas, followed by Echo, and for Odebackheads.
On row 9, we have G-Man and Source.
Row 10 is occupied by Incarcerant from Irish whatever thing, and Martin.
Surprisingly, Marsden not qualifying at the rear of the field. Viperian follows him with Rotor X2 and Alex Nessie making up the back of the grid. Down the qualifying, I guess you would say?
Down the order, that's for sure.
Good point. As somebody just started playing Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Good.
You gotta turn your Steam overlay off during these, honey.
Yeah, assuming I care. Here's Sharky taking his warm-up lap before the race starts. Another brilliant performance in qualifying. This time, a couple of guys were close to him in qualifying time, so we might actually have a race for the lead, and that's going to be enhanced by a massive draft train that can be produced on the back straight, which is actually longer than any of the 3 Malzahn straights in Le Mans. So I bet Maestro loved this track a lot. Sponsored by Audi.
Well, the problem is it doesn't have Porsche. I don't like not having Porsche. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether or not anybody can take the crown from Sharky, as it were. Sharky's still dominant. What the fuck was that?
Oh fuck, I thought my mic was muted. For the record, I'm sick. I'm not coughing to like imply something.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that was coughing. Okay.
Oh god. No.
I was actually clearing my throat.
Yeah.
No innuendo.
As we see the USSR represented there by Lenin and is that Val Kilmer?
I don't know. Either way, his livery is gonna change because he actually lost a bet in endurance race 24 hours of Spa, and I did not bin the car, so I get to repaint his car. Suggestions are welcome in the comments below.
I want to be there for that, but yes, we are your commentary team, as you can see at the bottom for this race. Might as well just drop special guest from Spooky Squid because he's going to be a regular fixture from here on out.
I'll just get special Spooky Squid.
Spooky.
Spooky Squid.
No, that's next week.
You guys are going to be in for it now. Yeah, next week's race will be definitely special. Definitely tune in for that. But watch all of this one first so we can get your ad money. As we see all the cars lined up on the grid. We're ready to go. Are ready to blow. As we have lights, take it away, Georgian.
We have 5 lights ready to turn green, and we're about to go away in Le Castellet, maybe kind of airport. Car disappeared at NCWJ. Someone nearly collapsed the wall over there as the timer starts. Cars are off the grid, streaming towards turn 1 and 2. That's going to be off-camber chicane. Into 2, that's going to be an interesting entry. We have 3 wide, we have 4 wide, we have 23 cars streaming towards turn 1. The lead back is getting through 2 wide, but cleanly a little bit of a wiggle in the middle of the back. I see a car off the track at the very back. We're definitely going to see a replay at some point. So far, 2 wide, 2 deep into the next couple of corners. Still fighting that smart pipe, trying to pry what would be 6th place away from Trempel from Audio Motorsport, and successful, but they're going to be streaming onto the main straight soon. That's Echo trying to get his way past Matt of Bentley Motorsport, and this is the last turn before the long 2-kilometer straight, which is basically a draft chain. You can overtake and be retaken there as 2 teammates from Gachikunsis are side by side onto this straight, chasing Sharky. That is a fight for P2.
Yeah, this isn't going to work out for those 2 guys. One of them needs to get behind Sharky and the other behind the other. It needs to be IndyCar style, where you just pull each other along. Otherwise, Sharky, with his, well, ungodly grip, is just going to fly away, and you're never going to catch him again. Seemed to be a pretty clean start. Some little bit of argy-bargy, but it didn't look like there was any substantial calamity. We'll have to get a replay. As we see a battle going on there. Moose looking to throw down the inside. Yeah, well done. Oh no.
Move that fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a cluster over there at the back of the field as a couple blue flag cars trying to gain positions. We're back into mid-back, I believe. Yeah, that's Matt and Echo fighting away at the end of the first lap. We are 2 minutes in, so that's going to be your average length of the lap. 38 more to go, and there is a lot of tight competition. We have Nemedus, that is 20 seconds down. I guess he found some issues as we see the replay from the start looking onto the first corner. We see cars all using all the width of the track. I see definitely 3 wide, maybe 4 wide right there. A couple of cars looking down the inside. Nothing here as of yet, so I guess something happened in turn 2, which is
I think there's a little bit of touching there with one of the manners. Yeah, I think the Midas is the one who disconnected earlier on. Sharky got an average start. I wouldn't say that was great, but sufficient enough to get him off the line and away from the calamity. Does anybody try to make an overtake here? No, it just looks like Sharky just got it going on. Knows what he's doing. Sharky's mom has got it going on. Got a view from Goonsis now. Maestro ahead of him with a fire on his car. Is that a fire? Yeah. Maestro, your car's on fire.
Maestro did his best impersonation of Charles Leclerc, but without charm or proper nationality.
That's pretty accurate. As we see, whoa, a little bit of rubber banding there. Looks like. Oh God. Viperion on all the revs at the start as we see a bit of a
Too many. Looks like too many revs as he almost clobbers the wall there.
Catches it in the end, but that might have been tactical. Get himself behind, anticipating calamity into the first corner. Overall, I really thought that we would have had a lot more trouble going into T1 too.
Oh, there is the collision.
Oh, yep.
That's the Rosgrace Racing and Tosaurus colliding. Here's a view from back. That's a dive bomb out of nowhere. Nothing Source could have done here.
Yeah, Source the passenger in that.
G-Man, I think.
That's a non-board from G-Man. Is braking, then back on the throttle, and then braking.
Wow, it looked like he didn't even turn. It just looked like he didn't even turn.
I think what he did was he saw that Marston was next to him, and he went like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna show you what you use."
Yeah,
it looks like from a different car.
Oh,
that was not even close.
Poor Squid. No, poor Squid. Poor Moose. I don't know why I always mess you two up. Oh.
You look so similar.
I've never seen either of them, so yeah.
One has an afro, the other doesn't. That is all.
Yes, this G-Man here recovering after his incident. Ooh,
Oh.
and then he gets. I guess it's karma.
And the Midas actually on the rejoin spun him. That was not good.
No, not at all. But anyway, where were we? Is this Morrison? Looks further down the field, so I'm going to assume so. Yeah, going for... Nope. Did he just go for an overtake and then let himself get past?
I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
yeah. It looked like it.
As Manor Racing does what Manor Racing does, we continue
That's
on.
almost as good as my performance in Austria.
Not quite. He's looking for a dive bomb here.
Did he actually just overtake somebody?
Yep,
He managed to perfect the Marsoning.
That's an overtake on Rotorix 2 dive bomb from out of nowhere, but it worked. Oh, that's a little bit twitchy between two backmarkers cars.
Bye. Don't worry, you'll pass me later. Because the
Spoilers,
straight is so
Jesus.
fucking long. What?
Nothing.
Did you finish that? Oh, it did. Way to fucking ruin the flow, asshole.
What flow?
Save us, Squid. Save us.
Thank you.
Oh
Wow.
my. Oh my.
That's the only way I know how to save something.
Wonderful insight. Source creates an additional line in this turn. Thankfully, the entirety of the track is basically, well, paved, so you can go however wide you please. You will get absolutely zero repercussions for that, unless you clobber one of these yellow things, which is highly unlikely. You just drive around them and cut even more. Thank you, Bernie Ecclestone, for a wonderful circuit you're providing for the masses. We have an attempt
Yes,
to
in an
overtake.
attempt to improve safety, quote unquote, they made the offline portions that you see around grippier than the online portions. No sense whatsoever.
But it's Bernie, so it makes sense. Side by side here in turn 1, Servatis goes around the outside and completes the overtake to claim P10 and split backmarkers cars.
It's a nice
Yep.
overtake.
Yeah, clean overtake, well done. Looks like Jordan's going to try and overtake him back, going around the outside, which will become the inside if you can hold the line, which he couldn't. And now that's Servatis out after me, which we'll see how that ends up. It could be interesting. Ahead of me is Piker, so big warning flag there.
Piker is kinda gone by that time, there are already 3 seconds, so it's outside the wake for the car behind, so no draft as well, and Carl BC200 is slowly catching up the train thanks to some battling here, and he's gonna pick up the draft. Another car behind him, that would be Matt from Bentley Motorsport, also picking up some draft, so it's a massive draft train right here. Let's look for the inside into the flat right-hander here. A little bit too wide, still side by side, going into the next turn. It's gonna be whoever lifts first, whoever breaks earlier is gonna lose the position. Just a battle of nerves, still side by side. Servatis tries to go around the outside, that'll be him inside if he manages to hold it. And he does, still side by side. That's gonna be a little bit tight. Will he be able to close the door? Not quite, still side by side. For a couple of corners, that's gonna be next tight corner, which will come onto the pit straight, and Servatis holds the inside and completes the move in, well, basically half a lap. Oh, and that's a bit too wide, and zero repercussions for that, as I said, because Bernie.
Basically, it looked like Servatis got a little bit of a poor exit out of the corner, and you went around him unhampered, and probably actually benefited there, thanks to Bernie. As we move a little bit further back in the field, this is going to be Moose and Source. Let's see if Moose is going to be... I seriously, like, every time I see his car, it's just like, I don't know, it's like a fashion faux pas right in my face. I'm just like, that clashes, all of that clashes. I don't understand. As we get back to the battle, that doesn't incinerate my eyeballs. Well, a battle, which doesn't incinerate my eyeballs. It looks like we have a little choo-choo going on behind you, Jordan.
Well, as usual. Nothing new here. We have quite a few battles at the same time. Across the fields, leaders are still not spread too far, kind of within a second of each other. probably in a draft train the first 5 cars, maybe 6.
Yep. If they were smart, they would just link up together and pull themselves away from the rest of us plebs.
It's kind of what they're doing right now. Biker is kind of the linker for now, but he's losing Smart Pipe, and there's the gap of about 5 to 6 seconds. Moose is trying to complete the pass that he started half a lap ago on Source here, and he closes the door. Nice and simple. That's an easy overtake.
Yeah, well, Moose is much quicker. He just got killed in turn 1, and that's why he's so far down the field.
Seems to be a pattern with him. He's quick, but he just gets in situations through no fault of his.
Speaking of which, that's Moose off the track again. And we see
situation through all fault of his own, or is there going to be contact? No, he got. Oh, nice catch.
It's a nice catch. Echo made him spin a little bit. And you see what happened to Servatis over here in turn 1. Clobbers the pole over here, and on the curb that is off camber. Very easy to lose the car there. Lose a couple of positions. Nice recovery. And here we see a meta racing of Martin, who gets on the pole too early. Okay, I know that it's easy to lose there, but the wild wailing of the wheel back and forth does not help anything.
Yeah, it's sort of a situation where it's just like you start to, oh no, there's another. I swear, everyone here just loves Moose's ass.
It might be his car too, what you were talking about. Everyone gets so confused when they're close to him and just can't see the track.
Yeah.
Source didn't see anything until he hit it.
We do have some younger people, so maybe they haven't worked out exactly where they line up before, and they just see that and think, well, maybe. Or maybe he's just got a great ass!
Moose are probably endangered somewhere, so don't, if you're listening to this. And that's a Bentley car off the track and possibly off the wall. That's going to be turn 1 for Mr. Bob. Into turn 2, he doesn't even reach it. And hits the wall actually hard with his rear side. That might cause some damage. Turn 1, 2 seem to be a common culprit in those spins. You have to attack them.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, it's bumpy, and you have to hit the curbs, otherwise you're going to be slow. And so, you basically got to hit a curb, straighten the wheel, hit the other curb, straighten the wheel as fast as you can. And if you don't do one of those things quick enough, well, you saw what happened with Mars in there, and with
a lot of people.
Yeah, everyone pretty much.
Survived lost of Mars and Mr. Bob. Yeah.
Like, hey.
And we are almost a quarter of the way into this race, 31 and a bit minutes left. Still in the straight, that's gonna be a continued battle between Trampale and Smart Pipe!
Oh.
I think it was contact. Can't quite see behind the tree, but Smart Pipe is around. Smart Pipe is around, he is going, but he hit the wall and lost a few positions. He let Mr. Bob and Biker through.
I don't know what happened there.
Here's what happened.
Is this lag?
Yeah, that looks like rubber banding.
Yeah.
Just rubber band and a big wall kiss right there.
Yeah, because he even slowed down before that, not to hit Trampale in front, and then all of a sudden Trampale just slowed way down through what I assume is lag.
Yeah, spoiler alert, we had similar things like that happen in Austria, which you guys will see in a week's time.
Okay, don't put pressure on me.
Yeah, the rubber banding can be a little bit much, as we see battle resume between the two back markers and Servatis. I never really got comfortable on this track, so it's going to be an interesting race for me to see what I can do with the pressure from behind. Will I hold? Will I spin? Will I just eat it a poo-poo, as Steve used to say?
Oh god. Yep. Is he back in Belgium now?
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay. Thankfully.
I think he had another kid, or well, his wife had another kid. Not him, I hope. As we see a simple overtake there from you, I think I just let you by. I clobber a curb, and then you do something.
I decided to just abandon turn 2 in its entirety.
That was a bit of a mess.
Simple overtake, he says, as everything goes wrong. Whoa, another lockup right there. A puff of cloud.
I thought I had the speed. I had the speed. I didn't have the brakes.
You didn't have the brakes.
this was tactically planned. I'm 9 times out of 10 a better defender, and so I figured I could block Servatis off from behind and see if I can get Georgian to run away and maybe catch Smart Pipe.
Whoa! Ruda too with a lock up there in the same turn, trying to get away from Meko. No harm done. All the cars are continuing, but they're getting caught by Alex Nassi. That's a battle for 19th position right there. And back to the battle for 9th. Servatis has picked up a lot of tow. Is he gonna try to make a move? Not quite yet. He's still in the draft. He might try to go around. He does. Not enough speed. He'll have to settle back in for now.
I find the extremities of the track.
Unless you decide to explore all the blue stripes over there.
Well, one of them looked really, really cute, and I kind of wanted it for my wall.
Speaking of exploring blue stripes, Viperian does the same thing while he battles G-Man for 17th position. G-Man takes the inside, takes the position, both go wide, both lag a little bit, and both survive.
Somehow.
Nothing from you, Squid?
No.
He's just enjoying the race. Thank you, wonderful. Never do it again.
Ooh la la. So, speaking of things that are not appropriate, I kind of let Smart Pipe right by. So for all my defensive abilities,
You
it
meant Servatis.
didn't work. No, I meant Smart Pipe. I totally meant Smart Pipe. I fucked up.
Whoa! I decided to just go around the outside for a bit.
This is what happens when you say the thing that's in your head and not reading what's on the screen. It's bad. Very bad. As we're gonna see draft trainer fighting. So this pack of 4 doesn't seem to want to split from one another, but we do have what looks like 2 different kinds of packs forming. We have the leaders fucking off into the distance. Probably demarcate that with Mr. Bob 12 seconds ahead of this. And then behind him, Piker, Smart Pipe, sort of on their own, and then we have this lovely pack of about 5-6 cars. Smart Pipe taking the inside. I'm gonna keep going with it.
Okay, just confirming.
And that gives him the position. So now Smart Pipe is chasing Smart Pipe. It doesn't really work when they're right next to each other.
Keep digging.
I do.
Maybe he has multiple personality disorder. You don't know that.
Maybe.
Imagine him just sitting at home and driving 2 cars at the same time, just with left and right wheel, and he does like one leg on brake and throttle.
I meant something like that. Oops.
Oh.
Well, apparently it's not that easy to drive 2 cars at the same time as he spins in the last turn, letting 2, maybe 3 cars through. If Carl completes the overtake, he should be able to close the door, and that's exactly what he does. Servatis is looking on the inside, not gonna go just yet. All the cars on fire, it seems like. Seems like a big safety concern, as that's an Incarcerant off the track in the final turn. He's gonna jump the curb, some Manor has to avoid him a little bit, and we see what happened to him.
A little bit laggy.
That
Curb.
happened before.
Yep.
Turn 2, curb. Yep, the usual situation. A little bit too much overcorrection, a little bit too much throttle, and he actually keeps it in the drift to get onto the escape road. And that's what happened to him right here. That's the penultimate turn. A bit too much curb, a bit too much speed, a bit too much brake, and that's another off.
Yeah. It's played it smart to come back onto the track where he did. But yeah, I've done that before though. The two things, one thing with light gun games once. Time Crisis, I think it was in the arcade. I could use both of them. It was quite fun. Racing a car would be a little bit more difficult. We're moving a little bit further back in the pack now. I'm assuming that this is the. We just jumped back up to me, who, yeah. Now I got a freaking car all over my ass.
I bet you love it. That's a fight for 10th position.
I've never seen Carl. I can't say whether or not I.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep rolling with it too. Smart Pipe is rolling behind these two. just lurking, waiting for an inevitable mistake from someone to pick up a free position.
Fuck you.
Carl is slotting back only to have a look on the outside, thinks better of it, and slots right back. Status quo
I
for now.
positioned myself there. I was like, well, you want to try to go off the track, you're going to have to stay off the track. As I defend with my usual vigor.
Another look around the outside from Carl that goes nowhere, and he is now under fire from Savadis. As further down the grid, or is it? Yeah, it's further down the grid. That's Martin, Incarcerant, and Nemedis. Yes, Nemedis. That's the last 3 cars all on the field fighting amongst each other, looking to pick up extra points. This is the IndyCar scoring system, so. As long as you're in top 30, you're gonna get more points for every position.
Yep, and we don't have 30 cars on the grid, so everyone gets points. It's like frickin' Oprah. But it has to be said that despite a few battle packs forming, more or less everyone's staying close to everyone else. We don't have huge gaps forming. I mean, there's only, a minute? Go ahead.
And we saw how long it took for Nemedis to catch up. Like even with the cars ahead battling and going off track, it still took him like 20 minutes to get those seconds he lost at the start back. Yeah,
it takes a while around here. It's such a long lap that oops, up there's typical situation. It's such a long lap here. Yeah. That you can, losing a little bit of time here, a little bit of time, really has a knock-on effect. Just because it's so fucking boring of a track. You exit a curb, or you exit a corner badly, then you're almost guaranteed to have a straight after it, which means that you're compromising yourself for quite a ways, as we see here the battle between Ponchik and Gunsis. How far ahead is Sharky? 3 seconds? 4 seconds? Something like that?
Yeah, not too far. We can see him over there. It's a couple of seconds. And also, to everyone viewed, if you want to get drunk off your ass, have a shot for every time Martin spins.
Or ignores a blue flag.
No, that's next week. Speaking of every time Martin spins, that's a replay of one of those, as he almost collects someone.
Why the fuck do you sip on a shot?
Because he's American, he's wrong.
Oh, do you want me to get my whiskey?
Yes.
Yeah. We have 22 minutes to go as Matt just leaves the fuck away. We continue the battle for the second. Gunsis is looking to overtake Maestro. That's gonna be another draft battle probably, because there's not a lot of space over here to overtake. Just gotta set yourself up for a 2 kilometer straight. It's gonna be the exit on the straight now, and Gunsis is probably gonna get it since he's not too far behind, unless Maestro defends like mad. And we have Savadis in the wall again. Something happened to him, and that's another edition of turn 1 shenanigans.
Yeah. Did Moose design his helmet? Because that looks suspiciously a lot like a rainbow.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, probably.
Savadis no longer has the front half of the car in real life, but he drives back, finds reverse, and continues after he clobbers the wall head on.
No, don't worry, he would have been saved by the halo.
Oh yeah,
Drink.
sorry, I forgot.
Oh
I'm sorry, you can't get from whiskey, you fucking lightweight.
It's strong whiskey.
No, it's not.
I don't deal with bad quality shit. I just put a whole lot in my mouth. Don't even. Don't even. A little more whiskey in there.
So while Mulder disposes the load in his mouth, we have
Fuck you.
sorry, I can pass on the opportunity.
That was good fucking whiskey, asshole.
We see him on the screen fighting for 10th position. With Carl, it's gonna be final sector. Another attempt of a battle. Carl looking for the inside line, finds nothing and continues to trail looking for a better moment. A little bit wiggly as we're about to cross the halfway point of a race. Still kind of together. Those packs, the leading pack of 4 cars is very, very close, within a few seconds of each other. The rest spread out a little bit, but still fights all over the field as we complete yet another lap in this race.
Yeah, anybody makes a mistake up there in that battle for the top 4, and it's going to be bad news bears. But then again, it's Sharky, he doesn't make mistakes. Goonsis rarely makes them. Maestro, despite being a mistake, doesn't make them very much on the track. And Jeke is, well, the Norwegian who just is there. I had nothing for him. Yeah, you owe me about $10 too, Georgian, for that. As we see a car in the pits, what the hell? Damage repair, I'm assuming?
I think that's Servatis, right? Yeah.
Yep, that is Servatis, I guess, repairing that wall clobber. And go fuck yourself, Matt. You get nothing from me.
That's what it's come to.
And Servatis rejoins second to last.
I have a few.
I'm sorry, are you drunk already?
You're a mess.
I was gonna say, that went quick.
No, fuck you.
I know that whiskey is 96% alcohol.
What is it, alcohol-wise?
40?
No, only 60.
60? Jesus Christ.
I told you I drink the good stuff.
It's not whiskey if it's 60.
Okay, it might not be whiskey. I don't know. It says it's whiskey. So we're gonna get a view of me. I wasn't drunk during this race. However, it's about to look like I was as we go into turn 1, and I'm gonna do what everyone else does: clobber a curb, clobber another curb.
I'm sorry. You didn't do what everyone else did. You annihilated those curbs. Some people touched. Oh, speaking of a little bit sideways, that is Alex getting a little bit sideways and being kind of slow. Is he letting everyone through?
I guess so. I don't know if he's being blue flagged at this point. I don't think so.
No, that's for position. That's for position.
And that's something as unusual as a spin that's not in turn 1.
True, I guess. But are you drunk?
Speaking of unusual, Moose is heading in the right direction, and chasing Matt for P11. They still haven't lost Carl over there, so they are looking into P10 at this point. Everyone ahead is, well, basically gone at this point. Moose is trying to get the outside lane, maybe to sweep around to get into favorable position into turn 2. That's gonna be a side-by-side. It's gonna be whoever breaks first is gonna lose it, unless they don't break at all, in which case it's gonna be hilarious.
More fire.
Side-by-side into turn 1. Closed door. Moose gets no thing, except from that wild twitch and Code Brown.
I swear, if I was on LSD right now, Moose's car would just be the best thing ever.
You know, if you're on LSD, you just need a camera that zooms on his wheel.
Yeah. And just put on some Jefferson Airplane. I mean, I guess Moose's car wanted somebody to love, and that's why he keeps in the ass.
Oh, good God, Matt, no.
Don't you want some? Anyway,
as we get content ID'd,
I don't have her voice. Nobody has her voice. Her voice is amazing.
We're witnessing fights back in the field. That Svad is down in 20. He overtook in Carson and Alex Ness already. Trying to get his way through the field. He got 2 more cars directly in front of him. That's Nemedis and Rotrex 2. He's probably gonna get at least one of them on this long straight. He's definitely faster than both of them. I don't know if the straight is long enough to get both. It's definitely way too long for any normal car.
Yeah, the problem here with being up close to somebody is you got to time it right, because you can very easily pass somebody in the draft. But then, if you do it too early, they're just going to repass you in the draft. It almost makes sense sometimes just to back off a little bit, slide back behind, then get them on the inside for the next corner. Looks like it was timed well here, and he's made the move stick.
No nonsense overtake.
Oh, he's going to get a second.
What? What was that?
That was fast.
Basically let him pass.
Wow.
Yeah, no
That was
resistance
interesting.
no resistance from Rotrix too, as he lets Servatis through, and he has about 10 seconds of clear air, and the next target would be Viperian in his quest to regain the positions after he had to bid for damage.
I mean, either that was a mistake or it was really smart. Because
It looked like he was really far wide. I don't know if it was simply just let him. I think he messed up, as we see here. Moose all over the back of Matt. Not me, other Matt. And
Well, he probably is. Don't deny it.
hey. Oh, what the fuck?
Oh.
He's
Rip.
gone.
Rip.
I don't know what happened there. He just darted into the wall out of nowhere.
Rip in pieces. Let's
See
see.
the replay of that. He's on the curb a little bit. On the
What?
Correct. That is weird.
That was the biggest overcorrection I've seen, if that was an overcorrection.
He started sliding a little bit, but then just I
He
don't
wouldn't
know
even
what
had to
happened.
have corrected for that. He could have just let the slide go.
Yeah, just lift a little bit. I don't know. Something happened there. We are not able to explain
To
it.
be fair to him, that corner right there in particular, the spins happen very quickly. And so if you start to go, I mean, you're going to go quick. Maybe just thought he was going and he wasn't, and yeah, that's what you see there. As we see what looks like wheels from back in the 1991 Benetton days.
As,
and
there's another car.
Second power car.
Another car in the pit lane. That would be MRT of Martin.
Probably the safest place for him.
Unfortunately for you, he rejoins the race after making his pit stop. He rejoins dead last, about a minute behind the next car. So he ain't going anywhere. He is slowing down to actually let Smart Pipe through over there.
That was smart.
Yeah.
I don't know who designed this pit exit, but they're an idiot.
Blame Bernie. It's for safety.
Well, you would have thought that they would do something Abu Dhabi-like, as we see. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
The Alpaca teammates are fighting amongst each other, completely ignoring that there are white lines that are actually supposed to, you know, signify the end of a track. Sick drift by Corsa. Contrary to the popular belief, it did not make him quicker, as they're still side by side through the final sector. Alex is going to be
By
on the
popular,
inside.
you mean one person holds that belief.
Yeah. His ego is too big. As Alex completes the overtake, but he's a little bit slow on the exit, and Corsa probably should slot behind to get some overspeed, as right ahead of him, Nemedis and Rotrix, two fighting for P19. That's going to be side by side into turn 1. Turn 1 is dangerous, as we saw multiple times. Will they be able to hold it? Nemedis completes the pass. Turn 2 just fine, but he is a little bit slow, and Rotrix almost able to get the crossover, but he lost a lot of time trying to get this line, so he has to slot back and look for another attempt.
Rain lights on for safety there. Yeah, I just don't know why they didn't build like a bridge, sort of like Abu Dhabi's tunnel, where it goes up or under somewhere around the track and then puts them back on the inside.
Yeah, or
Or
even
spit
just
some-
lead it straight and then feed back after turn 2.
Yeah.
The problem
Or
after
just
turn
let-
2
yeah.
is that there is another layout that turns right over there after turn 2.
Well, if you're not using that layout, too bad. I mean, how many of these layouts do they actually use here?
The short one is actually used for BTCC, or WTC, one of those.
Okay.
I mean, it would make sense, like, make a runoff so you can join after turn 2 there, or turn right to join after the right-hander there, like a separator of some sort, I don't know.
Yeah. Or, well, I guess you'd have to move the whole grandstand if you put the pit lane on the left-hand side, so...
I mean, there's
I don't know.
nobody's gonna be there, so you can just demolish it.
Very true. I mean, yeah, I bitch about the over-safetyification, I guess you could say, the sanitization of the sport, but yeah, that's something unreasonable, please, stupid. I don't know what they're going to do when they race their next year, if that pit exit's going to stay, or if they're going to move it, or what they're going to do. Then again, that never stopped them from running in Korea, where that was the stupidest thing I've seen in a long time, track design-wise.
A couple of tracks had terrible exits.
Well, even like Coda has a really stupid exit, in my opinion.
At least in
Well,
Pony,
Coda-
you have a long run up, and same in many tracks like Monza. you have like time to look who's behind you and judge the situation and see what's going on.
It's a longer run up than India. India had a similar exit, which was very short. I mean, the point isn't even so much about where it's positioned, but the fact that you, at least with Coda, it might be badly positioned, but at least the cars on track can see you coming. They can see that you're there. This track, it's just like, oh, surprise, there's a car, boom.
The pit entrance here is also just wild. On the main straight, you have to just dive inside very hard on the brake, so if somebody's trailing you, you're not gonna have a chance to avoid. As we continue the battle, that's for 11th place, Carl and Moose. A nice crossover from the Swede. He's not gonna get the position though. He is right on the gearbox, looking for a move around the outside. He needs to hold it to have a good position for the last corner. He does. He's on the inside. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving. He shoves Carl wide, and they're still side by side. They will be side by side going into turn 1. I bet there's gonna be more. Carl getting a little bit of a toe to jump right back out on the inside line. We're about to cross a 10-minute mark, but Carl doesn't have enough speed and has to slot back.
Smart move there from Carl, not continuing to argue the point. The position was, whoa! That was sideways.
At least he didn't lose it completely. Nice recovery there. It turned 2.
Yep, well caught. Did better than I did.
Definitely.
Then again, he didn't clobber the curbs.
Yeah, and we are spectating you, surprisingly enough, fighting with Matt for, that would be 12th position with just under 10 minutes to go in the race. We still have a battle for the lead. Sharky Goods and Maestro are not too far away from each other at all.
You're in the scenario now where they're pretty much evenly matched in the corners. They're up to, well, I don't know what I was trying to say there. They get up to one another on the straights probably, but then just constituting themselves out of the corners. We see a bit of slicing and dicing going on here. That's between one of the Rosgrees cars. Is that G-Man and Source? Yes, I think it is.
Yes, they are.
Going at it. Let us see if G-Man can get revenge for the Balkan War, or if he's going to make another off-color joke. Time will tell. He's got the draft. He's got the draft. He's going to make anything of the draft. It's a question. Looks to the inside, but I don't think he has enough of a run. Nope. Slots back in. No overtake there. Try again later. Maybe in this corner. Dive down the inside, but then you got to really slow the car up. No. He's going to stay behind. So it remains Source from G-Man for the time being.
And when we were talking about the leading group there, where it's Sharky, Guns, Maestro, and GK, I gotta say, like, generally both here and at Spa, I've been a little bit surprised that GK hasn't been more of a factor for the lead, because if you go back to, like, Darsh Cup, that guy was unstoppable. There was no one that could even get close to him, not even Sharky.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, Piker's in a similar sort of situation. If you go back to before GT3 in the Miatas when he made his debut, I mean, that guy was absolutely rapid. And now just sort of an upper middle of the road kind of position. So we're going to replay here of Mr. Bob. Is this going to be another one of those spins? Yep, a little bit. Was that lag, or did he get touched?
I don't know. I don't think there was anyone near him.
It didn't look like there was anyone in the mirrors, but that was a weird spin.
It looks like he kept on the throttle throughout the spin and couldn't recover.
Yeah.
Lost a couple of positions. I believe Trempel and Piker overtook him. He's back down to 7th place and under a little bit of fire from Smart Pipe.
The one that really surprises me, though, is Gunsis. I mean, he's right up there. Which is very impressive considering the competition that he's up against. And the fact I don't see him practicing as much as the other guys. He just seems to have a feel for this car. He seems rapid. Maybe he practices offline, and obviously that doesn't get tracked.
Oh, that's another car in the wall, and that's a heavy impact for Asgree's race, and that's G-Man. He was chasing Source a little bit too eager, and now he's gonna get under fire from Servati. Servati swoops around the outside, and he's just gone.
Hey, yo buddy, still alive? Oh, not after that. The magical halo would have saved you, though. Magical halo.
The power of Jesus. Anyway, another car is off in
the power of Jesus wasn't with him.
in exactly the same place. That would be Viperian. At least he avoided the wall and able to adjourn right behind Nemedius to continue the battle. He gave up the position. Didn't give up a lot of time as there is Piker chasing Trampale. That is for the top 5. Not too far behind Mr. Bob and Smart Pipe. Mr. Bob recovering and pulling Smart Pipe with him. Just 6 minutes to go. Trampale is making a small mistake in turn 2. And if the draft train is kind to everyone behind Trampale, that is gonna be a 4-way dance by the end of a race.
That'll be interesting to see. Can they close up on one another? Big gap behind him to you, it appears, so you'll probably not be a factor in this. Moose is quite a ways behind you, Carl, and then me sort of in a lonely island by myself with Matt.
No comment.
So, darling. So, what do we have here? We have Sharky in the lead, Shock of the Century, with Gunsis and Panchik behind him, Jackie in fourth.
I'm sorry, did you just say Shock of the Century?
Yes.
Shark of the Century. Is that an award?
It should be.
It had more comedic benefit before you pointed it out. Trampale's behind him. As we've been saying, yeah, the JK not being up there is a bit of a surprise. I expected, at least with Gunsis now in the mix, there to be a constant 3-way fight for the lead. I just didn't expect it to be Ponchik, especially considering these cars have downforce and he treats that like it's freaking blasphemy. So behind them, Mr. Bob, Smart Pipe, and you. And then pretty much your typical field behind that. Everyone seems to be around where they normally are. Hyperion's having a decent showing. He's a couple places up from the back.
So it is after his pit stop is a little bit downfield. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, it's the same with Gunsis and Viperian, that both of them haven't had that much attendance in the earlier series. I know Gunsis ran a lot in the MX-5, but he wasn't really that quick then. But he's always been very error-littered, and in this series he just doesn't seem to make that many mistakes, and that's probably why he's able to run up there.
Yeah, I could agree with that assessment. I mean, different cars suit different people. I've had, personally, a really hard time getting to grips with this car, and driving a lot more erratically than I did, say, in GT3, as we got a bit of almost a half spin there. I mean, GT3, I was fighting for the top 3 in a lot of races, and in this, it's on again, it's off again. Also, not a lot of time to practice. I mean, a lot of people here do or don't, depending on, how old they are. I have a day job. Georgian has a day job. You have, I don't know what you have over there in Sweden. Do they even still have jobs in Sweden?
Yes.
For Swedes?
Yes.
Really?
Not for me, though.
Well, because you're a Swede. There are no jobs for Swedes in Sweden. Moving on.
That was a refugee joke, everyone.
Really? Oh my god, they would never have gotten it if you didn't make it explicitly so.
You know what? This joke was so shit, so I decided to ruin it completely. I'm sorry, I had to.
I blame the alcohol, which I need more of. Hang on.
I decided to murder it, put it down on the ground, throw some dirt on top of it, and just forget it ever existed. Shut up, I know, let's keep going. 3 minutes 30 seconds left in this race. Piker attempts an overtake a little bit too wide. That's gonna allow Mr. Bob to close the gap, maybe try a crossover. Actually, crossover is probably gonna be successful. They're gonna be running too wide. They're gonna be fighting for well, nothing. I was about to say they're gonna be fighting for Trampale's draft, but they decided to just run one wide. What the hell, guys? It's like Daytona 500. They were just too wide the entire freaking race, but when it was the end, they decided to run one wide and just ignore all the competition. Well, unlike that, people are making mistakes here, so back then Smartpipe is about to have a tango with Mr. Bob. Everyone closed in by now. Trampale has like half a second of a buffer from Piker, but that's not gonna last come the straight, because Trampale is not gonna have any draft whatsoever, and everybody behind him is gonna be pulling like mad. It's gonna be a difficult defense here.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't say nobody made any mistakes in Daytona and NASCAR. I mean, they have Danica.
To be honest, in the last season or two, usually Danica doesn't make mistakes. Usually,
yeah, somebody
Danica
else hits her.
Ends up in the back, and regardless of who's spinning, who's fucking up, she ends up being the one in the wall.
Yeah, no, it's true. I joke because of her first season of interestingness, let's say. But yeah, no, she's been the unfortunate victim of many an incident. Everyone just sees her and just like, oh my god, it's Danica, crash.
Oh my god, guys, look, there's a woman.
Oh god, don't remind me. Remember, Ilya, how Daryl Waltrip was when she first joined?
Oh
my
yeah.
god, it was like, just like this crushes and Carson lets people by, and then, well, lets himself go.
To be honest, DW is still a bit of a dick about that.
Well, yeah, I got nothing there. What are we looking at now? Is this Source and Servatus? Yes, it is. What are we going to do here? Servatus has had a bit of an off race. He was doing good in the beginning, but a series of mistakes just brought him down the field.
Well, he got damage, he pitted for damage, now he's clawing his way back up. So this is probably going to be his last target. The next one is 10 seconds ahead, and we're about to run out of time in this race. He's going to run around the outside of Source. He's going to complete the overtake probably before the turn, maybe not. A little bit of drag slowing him down.
Oh, wait, no, he's not.
He's going to go around the outside, but he does complete it with a bit of extra speed, closes the door. And no drama here, as he is back to P14. And we are back here. There's... this is... Wait. Yeah, this
Where's here?
Yeah, this is the battle we were spectating. They're going to wide, looking for a space to pass. Piker is defending like mad. Mr. Bob and Smartpipe really want through. Champel is putting a slightest bit of a gap, but he has lap traffic in front of him, I believe. That will give him a little bit of drag, but that also might slow him down depending on how good he exited that turn. That's I can't quite see what that car is that is going to be lap traffic. Okay, and Carson, there is too wide at the end. Mr. Bob is going to have a bit of an advantage. He has the drop from Piker. Smartpipe tries to go round the outside. It's going to be difficult as we run out of time in this race. We're going to have one more lap when the leader crosses the start-finish line. There is still a huge battle for 5th place between 4 cars. It's going to be going till the last possible moment. Smartpipe goes a little bit wide trying to go around in Carson. Mr. Bob is basically trapped. He has to slot down in Carson.
What happened to Trempale there?
He's still ahead?
He's still ahead, but he's a lot closer than he was. Did he make a mistake?
I don't know, maybe he had troubles overtaking Carson, maybe a mistake. Either way, there's gonna be a 4-way, definitely, till the last possible moment. They're all within draft. That lone straight is gonna mix the cars up as we officially get the white flag. This is the final lap of the race. Nothing is sorted out here. This is a fight within top 10 between Champale, Piker, Smartpipe, and Mr. Bob. 4 teams battling it out, and we are not quite done in the battle for second as well. Gunst and Maestro are kind of close to each other. JK is in a bit of no man's land right about now, safe and sound in his 4th position. This is the lead pack, and this is Gunst is right behind Sharky. They are close to each other. We see Sharky chasing a lapped car over here. This is one of the blue flag guys. He went wide. Oh no, he's gonna get slowed down. Oh. This is Viperian. He has nowhere to go. Viperian cannot let him through there. He lets him through here, but Sharky goes wide as well. Sharky lost a lot of time here, and he's
Sharky being a little bit conservative, trying to make sure
straight as well.
Viperian on the outside that Viperian didn't get sideways and clobber him, but that allowed Gunsis to close right on up. Maestro looks like he's going to be content for 3rd. I still think it'll stay like this unless Sharky makes a mistake, which never happens.
Sharky has about half a second of the advantage. There's not going to be another straight, so Gunsis has to push everything he can out of the car to get this half a second down to maybe attempt to pass in the final corner of a race. Not close enough. Sharky is not making mistakes. We have 3 corners left. Well, 3 and a kink. That doesn't count. They're going through.
Kink always counts.
God damn it. Going through the kink. 2 turns left. Sharky has a considerable gap. He is... looks like he's gonna cruise to the checkered flag unless he messes up this turn, which he doesn't, and he's gonna take the checkered flag in Paul Ricard to win 2 races in a row, followed by Guns is close by, and Maestro taking 3rd place. Oh my god, this is a gaggle 2 wide, 2 deep. This is for 5th place. Trepel is just ahead. Biker drives on the inside. He's off the track. He's gonna rejoin. This is gonna be the last 2 corners. They're right next to each other. 3 wide for the 5th position. Mr. Bob is launching down the inside. Trepel loses another position. Mr. Bob is gonna try to attack Biker in the last turn. He tries, no space. A little bit for luck on Trepel. But Mr. Bob slow. Smart Pipe is gonna have a run on at least Trepel, and that's gonna be a finish side by side. Smart Pipe gains the position from Trepel. Wow. We're gonna see
Trepel found where the mud starts and went down 3 positions.
We gotta definitely see a few replays what happened. They were not that close. Something happened. And we see another battle onto the final lap. That is Mulder fighting with Matt. Mulder sideways. Matt tries to go inside. That's contact, and in the wall goes Mulder in the very last lap. He's gonna get going. Cervantes is still closing up. There is Cervantes. It's still not over for these two. They're gonna fight it out. In the very last corner, Cervantes tries to go around the outside. Looking, nothing as of yet. He might try a crossover, kind of. Locking, yes he does have a crossover. This is gonna get to the very line, and side by side, I have no idea who won. I legitimately have...
saw the results.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, gentle touch there leading to, well, gentle spin for me. And then a battle to the very end there with Smart Pipe, as I like to call in this race, as we see the rest of the field coming in to finish the race.
We're definitely gonna have to see some replays of what happened at the end.
It all just touched off in the last lap. Everyone decided, fuck it, kill everything.
Yeah, Trepel lost 3 positions in the 3rd sector alone.
Bonus shot for Matt as Martin finds the wall again on the final lap.
Poor Martin.
Yeah.
And this is what happened there. Biker punts Trepel out of the way. It says after the straight, Biker punts Trepel. Trepel is on the left trying to get his position.
Biker tried to redress, and that's what set off all of this.
Biker redressed, but he has crossed him over. Trepel missed the corner. And here we see from Trepel's point of view, he is bunted. He saves a brilliant save over there.
Wow.
He continues to battle. Biker on the right, he slows down a little bit, but Trepel doesn't see the redress. He attacks way too hard. He goes wide into the turn. Biker dives the inside. He gets the position a little bit squiggly from Trepel. He rejoins the track side by side with Biker. Where did Mr. Bob came from? I think he's
right
on
here,
left. He's right using here, Biker. He's using Biker to get through.
Yeah.
Trepel lost another position. He is lunging the last ditch attempt. Locks the inside tire. Punts Mr. Bob. And Smart Pipe from behind is able to get by right at the end.
He hit Mr. Bob just perfectly. Just enough to send him flying outside without spinning him. And so, whoa, God.
He almost lost it himself there.
Yeah.
Nice avoidance by Smart Pipe to pick up the position right at the end. And here we're gonna see at the end the battle between you and Matt. Squiggly on the inside, already passed, and there's a hook.
Yeah. My front tire hook on him, I think it was. There was an interesting interpretation of the line there.
Yeah, just will-to-will contact as you get into the wall as a result. Immediate...
trying to find a gear.
Yeah, it was a bit slow. Here we see from Cervantes swings wide to gain some speed, looking for a crossover. A little bit of lock-in and slow exit of a turn. Cervantes grabs a little bit of draft. You're trying to push him to the wall as far as possible, and here is the photo finish. It cannot be closer.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Here is the frame by frame, and this is the gap at the finish line.
Good shit. Nice. That was very nice. As we see the winner of the race, Shark of the Century. Sharky. Yay. I'm going to stick with that from now on. That's going to be a thing. I'm going to make that a thing.
He had the race in control until the very last moment when he had a bit of encounter with lap traffic. But Guns is close by, I think, another lap, another full straight of draft, and Guns might have clawed up to the tag distance, but not close. And this is the post race. There's P1 and P2 Gunsis and Sharkey saying hi to each other, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this has kind of shown that he's not unbeatable by any means. Gunsis was very close the whole race and very much could have gotten him at the end had he had one more lap.
Yeah, even without the conservative driving to make sure that Viperian didn't deck him, Gunsis, well, finally takes the lead, but Gunsis was definitely right up along with Sharkey. Definitely there on merit, so it's not necessarily guaranteed who's going to win anymore, although yeah, the odds still favor Sharkey. We'll have to see. Ponchik a little bit further behind, but he was definitely in the mix. And like you said, Jackie just, it seems uncharacteristically slow. As we go through the results for the second race, Sharkey from Gunsis, Ponchik, Jackie, Piker, Mr. Bob, Smart Pipe, Trumpale, Georgian, and the Holy Moose rounding out your top 10.
5 from 5th to 8th was just over 1 second between 5th and 8th position. That was very close at the end. That was interesting. Gunsis is just 1 second behind Sharkey at the end of a race after 45-ish minutes. As we go further down the grid, Carl PC 200, 11th, followed by Matt, Cervantes and Agent Paul. This graphic is a little bit deceived. The gap at the finish actually on the tab keep and watch was 0.006. Source takes 15th place, G-Man, Source takes 15, G-Man 16th, followed by Echo and Nemidis from Oda Baguette together again. Viperian and Rotorix, two blue flag cars, got blue flag at some point of race, finishing 1 lap back. Squid, do you think?
Oh, hi. This is the last screen, and it contains Alex Nessie in 21st, Incarcerate in 22nd, and Marson in 23rd.
This is the last screen. Do you have like fucking cue cards or something? It's like when you're reading all of like the little like prompters off the teleprompter, not just the words. Gesticulate with your hands. As we have the Drivers' Championship now after 2 races, with Sharkey having won both, up top with 100 points. Jackie behind in 2nd, Mr. Bob, Maestro Ponchik, Piker in 5th, Trempale, Georgian, me, Holy Moose, and Gunsis. Let's see, let's look through the field. It looks like a decent spread besides me and Georgian. A bunch of different teams represented throughout.
Yeah, this is a nice battle. 3rd place tied.
Did you see those 2 cars humping each other down there in the bottom right of the screen?
Yeah, this is the typical post-race shenanigans, courtesy of drivers of this race. As we go further down the grid, CalPC 11th, followed by Smart Pipe, Source, Matt is 1 point behind, Nemidis is 15th. His teammate Echo 51 is in 16th position, G-Man 17th, Viperian nicely overall 18th with 22 points, but Ed Hedron skipped this week in 19th, and Cervantes skipped in the first week is 1 point behind in 20th.
And then here's the last screen again. 21st Psychedelics with 16 points. We had a Neon Tiger with 13, Rotor X2 with 10 points. And then we have the IRA cards of Alex, Nessie, and Incarcerate on 9 and 8 points respectively. And at the bottom we have our series host Marson 224 with 7 points.
Marson on the bottom. That's a terrible porn movie. We go to Teams Championship. We go to Teams Championship. J&J Motorsport dominating, just having over a 50-point gap over Gachi Gunson. 2nd, Bentley Motorsport took over 3rd position from Beck Marcus, who are now down to 4th. MRT, despite having Martin there, is still in 5th. Audi, fuck you. And the rest of the
Kellis Racing in 11th place because we couldn't get 5th through 10th done. 12th is Blue Flag, 13th Kalmar and Chips, and 14th is the IRA.
And that's the second week done. We'll see you next week. That's gonna be in Austria, Spielberg. Until then, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, God.